Good morning, everyone. It is Maggie here, and I thought that I would just take a few minutes to tell you about something I started doing 2 years ago that has been a real game changer for me in my life, and that is my daily morning routine, which involves tea. As you can see, I today's tea is spiced apple chai, which is delicious. So have you ever known anyone who spends money 10 times over? If they get a windfall, they plan to do this with it and that with it and buy this and spend it on that in ways that would 10 times use up the money that they get. Well, I'm that person, but not with money. I'm that way with time. For me, time is infinitely more precious than money. And if I ever find myself with an unexpected stretch of free time, my mind tends to think of all the things I can do with it. Oh, I can clean out my car. Oh, I can clean. A lot of it involves cleaning, which always seems for some reason to be on the back burner for me. But, I could clean this, I could do that, I could go visit this person, I could go shopping, I could do some reading, I could watch a movie. Yeah, and there's never enough time in the day to do all those things. And I might start off, you know, like gangbusters, and then halfway through the day think, well, I've only gotten done one and a half things, and then start feeling panicky and upset because there's not ever enough time to do all the things that I want to do, basically. I mean, I'm one of those people who you've heard of say after they retire, I don't know how I ever found time to go to work for 8 hours a day. But I fill my time up with things that I really, really love to do. And then I tend to just take on more and more and more and more. The problem being, people say just say no. Well, it's hard enough to say no to people when you don't want to do the things that they're asking you to do. But it's even harder to say no when they're asking you to do things that you want to do and things that you love to do, but there's just not enough time to do. So about 2 years ago, my son gave me a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'm sure you've heard of it, and you may have even read it. And if you haven't, I would recommend that you do read it. It was great for me. It just talks about creating small, tiny little incremental habits that over time completely create complete change in a really positive way. But basically, one of the things he talks about is how we all set so many goals. And it's great to set goals, but you don't ever achieve those goals just by having them. And you don't even always achieve those goals by just churning away at them. The way to achieve those goals is to create a system, to create set steps, work out the steps that you need to achieve that goal, and then do it. And not only do it, focus on the steps. Don't focus on the goal, focus on the steps. And this really resonated with me, even though well, at the time I didn't have a job. I thought this could still function for me in my personal life, in my life and the goals I want to achieve, which basically is what anybody else wants. Contentment in life is really the goal, right? So now I find myself, I am working a part-time job. I am working at my small reselling business. I belong to a chorus where I'm always learning new music. And then I'm the webmaster for the chorus, so I have things to do related to that. I do some volunteering. There's just always things to do. And I love all those things to do. But I was getting completely stressed out, literally waking up in the middle of the night and something would pop in my head. Oh, I forgot to do this, or, oh, this is due tomorrow, and being frantic and anxious and all of that. So I decided to look at starting my day with a set routine. And seeing how that will work out and like setting the tone for my day. So some of the things I wanted to fit into my day that always seemed to be the first to go when time is in a crunch were things like quiet time, time to sit and have a cup of tea, reading. I mean, I am a huge reader. I love books, and there was a point where months would go by before I would ever even read a single page. And I wanted to try to find a way to fit all those things in that I love to do, but because they're not, you know, time says, you know, they're not in a time crunch, they're expendable. And I wanted to make them not expendable. I wanted to make them a part of everything every day. So what I did was I just created a simple list of the things that I wanted to accomplish first thing in the morning. And then at first I just wrote it down on a piece of paper, and every night I tried to write it out for the next day. And now I use an app on my phone that kind of sets it up for me. So I'll show you, I'll kind of walk you through what my morning routine is. So the first thing I do, up, in the shower, clothes on, hair done, makeup on before I ever walk out, you know, out of the bedroom. I need to be fully dressed, fully ready for the day. It's very, very, very important to me. If I happen to go downstairs in my pajamas or whatever, it just sets my day off on the wrong foot. So I have to do it this way. I just feel so much more productive. Next is inspiration. Usually it's a book that I'm reading. And right now I'm reading The Daily Stoic. It's every single day. It's just a little snippet, a little reading of ways to, basically the Stoic philosophy is that it doesn't matter in life what things happen to you. It matters how you respond to them. Your happiness depends not on circumstances in your life that you can't control, but on the way you respond to those circumstances. Next, I put the tea kettle on because I never start my day without a cup of tea. So the tea kettle goes on while I'm doing other things. The next thing, which is I go into my office and I get it ready for the day. If it's in the wintertime, I turn the heater on in there. If it's summertime, I'll turn the air conditioner on, turn my computer on, you know, just get all that ready for the day. And then I will come back in and clean the litter boxes. We have 3 cats, so that's my big morning chore. And then if I've been neglectful and left dishes in the sink the night before, I'll clean up the sink and clean up the kitchen, make sure that's nice and ready for the day. After this comes my morning reading. And this is the thing that even now I still struggle with, because it's the first thing I chuck out if I'm on a time crunch, and I really, really try not to do it. I know that's the tendency to think there's not enough time. I don't have time to just sit there for a half an hour and read. But for me, it's so important. I think for anyone, it's so important to just have that time. Even if you're not a person who likes to read, say you just want to literally sit and look out your window with your cup of coffee or tea for 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes. It's not gonna kill your day. It's not gonna throw your life off if you take 30 minutes. Right now, what I'm doing in those 30 minutes is I'm doing an online course in the Tao Te Ching, and it's a reading a day from the Tao Te Ching, but so you listen to the reading, and then I also do a bit of journaling about what I get out of the reading. And also in the app that I use for it, there's everybody who's kind of doing the course chats back and forth. So it's I love to read those and kind of respond to messages there, really interact with the other people who are doing it. So for me, it's just, not only do I learn from the readings, it's just calming, and it's a way for me to kind of interact with like-minded people, albeit, you know, not in person, but virtually. But the way we connect on YouTube, right? It's all connection. So it's very, very important for me. And I will admit that sometimes if I'm in a crunch, that is the first thing that I throw out, but I really try hard to get it done every day that I can. And then finally, the final step is to review my day. I use it's a Kindle Scribe. I just set up my day. I just write it out. Literally, I write today. I usually go to the day before and see what I didn't get done and just review in my mind all the things that have to get done, knowing that my list is always longer than I have time for. It always is longer than I have time for. And so I just try to get into my mindset, no, all these things aren't going to get done. It's okay to defer to the next day, not to stress over it. And I just find that laying it all out helps me prioritize. Writing it down helps me to see, yeah, this has to get done, but this doesn't have to get done. And sometimes after a few days, I'm like, you know what, this never has to get done. And off it goes. So it really helps me to prioritize the things I need to get done, to just take 10 minutes to review my day and to set it all up in my mind. And that's really it. It's a simple morning routine. And I just thought I would share it with you because it's, like I said, it has been a game changer for me. It has helped me to be more rational about what I can and cannot do. And it has literally helped me sleep better at night, because it used to be that I would wake up in the middle of the night and the first thing that would pop into my head would be, oh my God, you have to do all these things. You have this and you have this and you have this. And I think, oh, I don't have time. I would really worry about it. I couldn't get back to sleep. I was having sleepless nights. And this way I kind of know at the end of the day, by what I've crossed off and what I haven't crossed off, what is coming up. And I just know that in the morning, I'll be able to take the time to review my day and get it all straight in my head. So it's been generally so helpful to me. Can you identify, does this resonate with you at all? Do you find yourself having so much to do that you don't have the time to do it all? Do you find yourself getting stressed out with the demands on your time? And also, just what do you like to do with your time? I'm curious to see what you all do that interests you and is fun and shapes your day. So thanks again so much for watching. I always appreciate every single one of you who comes to watch my videos. It really means the world to me, and I appreciate you. I love to interact in the comments, so please leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And remember, we all deserve to shine. Life is wonderful.